Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 73 of the build guide 2. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And we have actually renamed this town that we built for Christmas. I called it Clausia, but of course missed the obvious opportunity to call it Carol. So Clausia is now Carol. But it turned out really nice, didn't it? I really like how this little path turned out here. Then mooching across the school campus into a little bollarded cafe area where the buses are stopping. Very nice, really enjoyed how it all turned out, so thank you for supporting it. And today, what I want to do is really build some sort of purposeful industry that kind of gives, I guess, more purpose to Carol and Denise out here by building a car factory, which is something we've never attempted before. It should be quite a lot of fun. There's lots of inspiration across the world for these. The Gigafactory, the Tesla one in Texas, is an enormous facility. That's a pretty cool one to look at. There's also several in the UK. There's a big Toyota factory in the Midlands too. But lots of inspiration to be had around the real world for these things, but I think what I do want to do is place in the car factory itself. I think we're going to put it out here by the rail. And I want it to be kind of visible from both towns, so you'll certainly see it from Carol over here, and you'll probably see it from the hill in Denise as well. And kind of both towns are really here to almost kind of service the car factory, I guess, and we'll also see if we can come up with a cool little car logo. So first of all, let's have a look at our terrain layers. So I'd like this to be slightly elevated, probably to the same height as the rail, to be honest. So let's push all this out here. Beautiful. So let's create a way into the factory. I reckon we're just going to tunnel, or well, bridge underneath the rail here, and we'll have just the one entry road into the car complex facility for right now, coming out the dual carriageway, and we'll do this with industrial road. So let's come out from here. Cool. So that allows the rail line to keep flowing over. So now let's approach the car facility itself. So we'll stick with this industrial road for right now, and I think let's just have a look where we come in. I want to mark out sort of the entrance to the facility where that terrain changes. There we go. So we'll just create a little T-junction like that. And then I think we'll move up into a wider industrial 4-lane here, rather than the small one. There we go. Cool. So let's have a look at the car factory itself. Super Big Chunger's asset wants animal products, glass, plastic and metal in order to function, which is fine. So let's have this here. So we should be making plenty of glass and metal from Shay's mineral storage. Lots of glass production here. Let's have a look at the area itself. Not that much metal actually. Could maybe do with. Then again, doesn't this one? Yeah, there's not that much metal production coming from here actually, which is a little bit of a shame. There should be, there's plenty of ore stored nearby. Plastic should be plentifully surprised with aha. Yeah, plenty of plastic coming from there. And then animal products from our main farm probably, I imagine. We should have a decent enough surplus of this if I can even click on the bloody thing. No, because they're under the same district styles, it's okay. You're not producing animal products, are you? Oh, no, you are. You are. Yeah, okay. So everything's being produced in fairly significant quantities. So I reckon it might be a good idea actually to bring in a train station here as well to keep those imports coming across the local railway. So currently this end isn't hooked in, but it'd be quite easy to hook in a cargo line that connects with this network over here. So that's my planning anyway. In terms of the train station we'll use, I think that the airports one is going to be better just because it's a little more realistic looking, I think, than the other ones. So we can have this. Let's see, where do we want it? About there maybe? I don't think I'm going to hate that. Blends in quite nice as well, the factory district, doesn't it? Definitely want to change some of these tree linings as well today. Don't want to obstruct all the views. Alternatively, we could also hook it in this direction because this one's not too far away from an outside connection at all. And this one does actually come back through here, doesn't it, to link up with this. And then could connect in via those delivery points there. And there's quite a lot of options actually. Orchid Bay's rail network has really grown since we opened those 821 tile radiuses, hasn't it? So I reckon we'll actually do that then. Let's match the curves of this rail network with some freeform action. Keep it running parallel for a little while. Let's go into there, I reckon. We'll also hook both platforms in as well. I think adding the rail here should add a nice bit of industrial infrastructure to help complement the factory build itself. We'll have that one go down there. Actually, might want to just extend this one a little bit now, so that train's got a bit more runoff room. Cool. So with the factory, I'd also like to have quite a lot of car parking around it, obviously to make it look like that's where the cars are actually being stored. So now let's have a look at some warehouses. So I'd like to kind of build them around the factory, so it looks as though they're almost extensions of the actual building itself. So let's sort of see how we want to sit here. So we want 4, it's already supplied already, isn't it? They've just come from the highways, have they? Yeah. Yeah, fiberglass plant transported to car factory. Interesting. See if that rail starts to kick in at some point as well with the imports. I'll have to wait and see. Then again, having just realised that we do also have the warehouse and railway connection, we could just use this to supply the factory with the rail. That might be a better option here actually than having this one. Then what we can do is set this to store, say, glass and metal, which we know comes from the big industrial ports. We'll have this one store glass. And then just hook that into the rail line without the station. Is that a possibility, I wonder? But we could also be quite cool and feed it through the yard. Why don't we try that? At least gives us the excuse to use the warehouse and railway connection. We'll see just how that performs. And in other news, I'd also like to have definitely a large one here. So orientation certainly aligned with the sort of chunk of the warehouse against the back of the asset, so it kind of looks like it's a natural extension of that building, if you know what I mean. So that was that needs to be 3 tiles further back. There we go, that's what I'm after. And then let's use this road to align the next warehouses. We can see we're starting to encroach upon that hill again, so let's push it back a little more. Bring this around the back, hopefully it's going to be a nice happy space for another warehouse. Not quite, but I reckon we can give a little bit of breathing room to make it fit though. There we go. We'll have that one there. And then you can store animal products. Cool. So we now got glass, metal, animal products, just plastics that remains now, isn't it? And where do we want to have these? I do like these smaller warehouses as well. They look really nice when they've all filled up. Also upgrade these roads here as well to hold the train yard. Not sure whether that train yard's going to stay there yet or not. We will wait and see. See just how much use it ends up getting. Would be kind of thematic though, wouldn't it? As if like the car factory has its own export hub for exporting cars, etc. Rather than relying on like general haulage to come and collect them. Cool, and I reckon we'll position another warehouse here actually, in line with the factory itself. Can we get one in? Yeah, just there, I think. And then this one will store plastic. Cool. So it is actually currently staying stock just by delivery itself, so hopefully with those factories around the edge of it, it's just going to stay stocked forever. Which would be quite nice. Wrap those roads around it. Also find some other opportunities for it to come down as well. There we go. Okay, so here we go. There goes the cargo train. You should now be, yeah, leaving back to the outside connection. And the car factory's truck just come from there too. But a lot of the imports that came in are all just leaving the car factory itself. Car factory's a medium warehouse. Importing goods to the warehouse and rail connection. Cool. So all of our warehouses are starting to receive deliveries now, at least the most of them anyway. Yeah, they're all kind of taking an odd loop here, aren't they? I imagine some one-way networks here might be quite useful. Let's upgrade this one here into one-way. Feed that in a huge loop all the way around. And then we'll complete the loop over here as well. We got some metals now starting to arrive. Looks like we should be able to keep that factory pretty well stocked once everything arrives in bulk. So then the next thing I want to add into a car factory build is a lot of car parks essentially. I'd also love to have a test track out here as well, but we'll turn our attention to that in a minute. So let's bring these roads down. So of course now we do have vanilla car parking available. So if we were to grab some of our large decorative lots, I don't think I want it immediately against the road of the car factory, so let's leave 3 tiles. Then how much room do we have to play with here exactly? Okay, we can arrange it so we have 8 tiles either side. I think I'm happy with that. Then let's allow some trees in here too, I think. Then we'll leave a single space between the car parks. Imagine once cars have been produced on the production line, they are stored here. I reckon we could also squeeze in an airport apron here as well, just for some more industrial concrete vibes. Absolutely can. Let's do that as well. Can we get them? Oh, we can put them under there. Thinking, can we hide some of that grass on the car factory to make it a bit more concrete? But it does have grass on it, which looks a little weird. But we can certainly do it around here, can't we? But isn't it? It only collides with that sub-building in the car factory. The rest of it's fair game, isn't it? It is weird how these airport aprons work sometimes, has to be said. But, whatever. Let's be thankful for them, right? There we go. Bit more concrete around there. Now, I've envisioned trees in between here. So, why don't we grab some eastern cottonwood? Do it on a 15 fill. Then can we just fill this space? And we could also have some extra spaces, or extra parking in those spaces as well there, couldn't we? Which, I don't mind as an aesthetic actually. You almost like imagine these spaces here are used for machinery or some other sort of storage. Shame we don't have any props, isn't it? Be perfect there. Okay then, let's repeat this design here. So we'll leave that one in there. So, just glancing back towards images of real life car factories, there's just an enormous amount of car parking as you would imagine. I think that should be enough, shouldn't it? We could do one more just to really hammer home the pretty gargantuan size of these things. There's a little delivery coming into the warehouse, dropping off some glass for us. Interested to see where you've come from. Yeah, the airport cargo station. Oh, it's importing it from there, is it? Okay, well. This seems a pretty pointless train journey, but okay. That should be fine. 32% full there. What are we lacking in the factory? Animal products? You've got some storage here. You should be able to filter through and pick that up eventually, we hope. And multiple problems. It's also got garbage problems as well. Okay. How about we have a look at some garbage solutions to blend into the facility as well? I don't want anything that's too... Where's our nearest processing unit for garbage here? Can we afford a Sunset Harbour one? I think it's in Sharon, isn't it? Yeah, there's a processing unit here. I think maybe a recycling centre actually might be a little more tasteful. Why don't we have that there? Yeah, I'm quite thankful for those props out here actually. Might even double that up to have 2. And that way we can just have this as local garbage service industry for this part of the city. Cool. So that's starting to make money now. I'm hoping we can bump this production up to 150% by the end of the episode once all these are fully stocked up. We're up to 30% stock now basically for all the supplies, apart from plastic. Plastic's having an issue, isn't it? Hopefully that'll come in time. So let's now have a look at the logo, which should be quite a lot of fun. Let's use a bright path. So we'll go with the red amusement park one. And I'd like this to be... I don't really want to hit a road guideline, I don't think. Let's do the grid snap and we'll do a 5 deep circle. Should be quite fun. Want to make sure we get the scale of this thing right above anything else. How's that for the car logo. Yeah, it's about a decent size. You'll be able to see that. And when it's on that hill as well, you can kind of see it when you're looking across from the hillside too. And I've actually left myself enough room for this. Yeah, we should be okay here. So is there a contrasting colour we can use for the direction? Let's lock it into place so it doesn't start warping out. And I would have preferred just the regular. Oh, the regular vanilla grey is quite tasteful, isn't it? A bit more simplistic. How about we do a 45-degree angle here. And then another one there. And then we'll remove that top line. I mean, that sort of looks like a car logo, doesn't it? I don't hate that. Do we want it as a amusement park pathway? Yes, I think we do. I think that looks like a car logo, doesn't it? I think so. You guys will have to come up with the brand name of the cars that are produced in Orchid Bay. I'll let you decide it. Okay, let's go with that then. So we want those 45-degree straight sections. There we go. And then delete the top one. Cool, and then I reckon we'll give them a bush line in with the prop line tool. Go for the wild hedge. Put it very close together, only 2 meters. And then we'll click it from the middle. And hopefully get a nice little bush lining on the outside there. Cool, yeah, I think I'm happy with that as the car logo. So we'll give this a district as well, but I certainly need name suggestions for the car brand name of Orchid Bay. What cars are produced here? You guys can choose it, and we'll choose the most voted next episode. Cool. So we've got our logo. We'll factor this in with the design once we come to do some detailing. Now I'd like to have a look at a test track. So we use highway roads for it. Again, let's have a look at our topography just to see exactly what's going on. Yeah, we've got a pretty nice flat space here to use, actually, haven't we? Let's grab this. So we'll do this one here. Push it all out to this level. So with the test track, I think we'll stick with 3-lane, possibly 2-lane highways in some cases. Let's also start to a guideline as well. So I think we'll fill this space with it. So we'll obviously have a lot of straights to test top speed, etc. Then let's have a little chicane. Let's do a little 490 curve in here. Have a little chicane like that. Then we'll come down to another big straight section. I don't know how I'm going to get them to use this. I guess we could place an asset or a little bit of industrial zoning or something in it just to get people to come actually out here. Then we'll get a hairpin here. Let's do 4. No guideline here either. Yeah, we'll do a 4 curve. Weird playing with highway roads like this. There we go. And then we'll do... Let's actually come back to guidelines with this particular section so we can match it against the current one. Let's have some curvy bends here. Test the traction. See if we can make them quite wavy. There we go. And then let's dig out a little more land that we can use here. It'd be cool, we could get the car logo in the track as well, actually, wouldn't it? Maybe have enough space for it here. Then we'll do another straight section. Another little hairpin slash chicane bend. Don't know if this is meeting FIA regulations. Probably isn't. Then we have this one come on one big curve round to the final straight. And we'll have that. Is that like a decent test track? Not too bad, is it? Got some high speed bits here. Lots of traction around the hairpins and the chicanes. And that's alright. Not too bad at all. Certainly have as a test track anyway. And lots of fencing around this facility will really bring it to life as well, I think. So now we need to figure out a way to get them to use it. So we'll have some slip lanes into the track. Let's come out from 45-degree angle there at a 330 distance. Can we do that this way as well? We can indeed. Wonderful. So that's entry and exit for the test track sorted. Now we've got to find a way to get them to use it. Oh, I love how we've got the thing there as well. Kind of looks like the stop-start light, doesn't it? Like the start of the grid. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, so figuring out a way to get them to use it. I reckon we can maybe do like a little... You got any industrial demand? A slither of it. There's a slither of industry available in Orchid Bay. So I reckon we'll do a small industrial road. And we'll align it with the main straight here. So let's go this way. I think. Is that what we want? I think it is. And then I'm wondering if maybe an industrial evolution asset or something, just a small bit of industry, just a little bit of a shed or something. Or maybe there's some service building I'm forgetting about. There probably isn't there. I bet the comment is going to be filled with, oh, egg, this asset would have worked great in this build. I'd be like, damn it, I forgot to use it. So let's do industrial evolution. And we'll just do the tiniest little slither. We want a really small building here, nothing massive. Okay, I think even the roads themselves are quite big, aren't they? Do you want to go down to dirt roads? Nah, we'll keep that on in there. And then in order to get them to use it, do we just have a little exit off of the track like this? Can we come back in anywhere that's... Come back in like that? Of course, they're going to need a way in and out, aren't they? Oh, Cocoa Shake, apologies if you heard that. The brown bear has just woken from her slumber. Okay, we'll go with that for right now. There might be a better solution than that. We'll just have to wait and see. It's not really going to grow either without service industry either near it, is it? So, how about a fire watchtower? Almost if it's there for spectating the cars go around the grid. But I'm hoping that provides enough value for these sims to actually come and set up here. We will have to wait and see, I think. Now, we could also hook the test track into the dual carriageway. That's actually quite a similar process to what you see in the Midlands near that massive Toyota factory. It does have a slip lane off a public road into the car factory itself, which Editing Egg will leave Google Earth chopped up for us today. Let's try that then. Wonder if it might even serve as a shortcut for people wanting to get into the car factory itself. Industrial vehicles and the like. I'm just wondering what the best way is to hook into this without really disturbing the equilibrium of the track. How about that? Wonder now if any sims that want to come this way will actually read that as a faster route. Oh yes they do! There we go! We have a truck! This is it's okay I guess. You see how he handles his chicanes. God, he's really tipping over there, isn't he? Goodness gracious. Incredibly dangerous. Look at that though. There it goes. Meow. Handling the chicanes wonderfully. Actual Michael Schumacher. There he goes. Wonderful. Rather not trucks use it, but it is industry, so we're not really going to get a choice in that, I don't think, are we? But either way, an extremely unique bit of industry that needs a lot of fencing and bush detailing, and we have cars. Yes, the cars are going around it. This is wonderful news. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. Look at that. Yeah, this track will be testing, doesn't it? They don't half come around those corners at some speed. Oh cool, well we have a functioning test track now then. I guess we could possibly delete this then. I don't know, I might wait for that to grow. I'll see how it turns out. Maybe this could be like a little observation post or something, or where they track data for the track. Might be quite cool. Maybe Office might be better suited for that, actually. Anyway, let's do some detailing, lots of fencing, lots of trees, and other little quirky bits of detailing for a vanilla car factory. Really glad to see this filled up as well now. Actually looks like the factory's producing something, doesn't it, in these endless rows of car parks between the factory and the test track. But either way, let's do some detailing, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, let's have a little detailing review, shall we? So this whole complex turned out really nicely. We've dropped in actually a mix of airport fencing and oil fencing around the complex too. Another logo over here for brand exposure is right against a super busy dual carriageway that comes off of the highway. So it kind of makes sense for it to be over here. And really happy with how many cars are actually using it. There's a whole bunch of different types of vehicles that are all making use of the test track. Really cool. Lots of bushes and trees around here. Also dropped in some airport aprons, kind of as like just little accents, maybe runoff areas or just gravel traps maybe. I know it's not a racetrack, it is a test track, but still. I thought it worked out quite nicely. Our industry in the middle has grown up as industrial evolution as planned. Just got some really basic small 2x2 and 2x4 units in here. I want it to kind of serve as basically kind of observation data maybe for the track, or just some outline associated industry on the track. I think it's turned out quite nicely. And then that logo in the center again as well. And don't forget to get those name suggestions for the car brand of Orchid Bay down in the comments below. I ended up using some vanilla walking pathway almost as kind of like grandstands. Again, I know this is a test track, not a race track, but maybe people can observe from here. You know, if they're on a lunch break or something, they want to see the track, then seating is available for that. And it's pretty effective, isn't it, actually? I don't mind that at all. Very, very vanilla, but I think it's still pretty cool. And over here, we also dropped in the software development studio as kind of a bit of a car brand headquarters, maybe. I felt I wanted a bit of office space here, and rather than using a zone building, felt that the software factory had a little bit more of an impact, doesn't it? So happy to have that in the complex as well. Of course, our mass car parking pattern has just been accented with some silver birches at the head, as we do merge into the factory where we can see these cars. The real shame, isn't it, that we can't get these as props. Having this aesthetic over here is exactly what I wanted, but we can make do with the mass vanilla car parking for that choice. Of course, all of our warehouses are filled up now, so we're seeing all the resources used to actually make these cars stored here, which is really impactful, isn't it? I think the orientation of a warehouse is really important in an industrial build. Same thing over here as well, animal products now knocking about. Several boxes of steak all ready to be turned into car windows or something. Then over here we've also got some pathways against the fencing which runs all the way around the edge of the facility now against that forest line, which looks really cool. Then more car logos at the front that we made in the episode, fencing around that. And then more concrete space for processing and delivery of larger goods that all correlate toward the building of cars, and a really nice way to respect a unique factory. I'd actually love to have a look and see which ones we have left. So there's only a few really remaining now. Maybe we can do a combined kind of textiles complex next time for the clothing and sneaker factories together. That might be quite a fun one to do, mightn't it? Because I really like sort of dedicating a space to a factory, especially these larger ones like the car factory, and of course stuff like the petroleum refinery, you know, really belongs in with its counterpart of the oil industry. So it's a lot of fun playing with these larger unique factories. You can make some very unique areas out of them, as has been proven today. And looking at it again from Carol, it's super cool, isn't it? Like, you can really see like everyone, like if you live in this apartment but you work at the car factory, you can see that big industrial complex just across the river that these two towns are kind of here to service. And then over here as well, looks really cool. You can definitely see that complex over from Denise as well, can't you? So really happy with how it all turned out, and of course another wonderful addition into Orchid Bay. But otherwise guys, that is going to do it for today. Let's thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, likes, comments and shares below go a long way to helping show this video and the series to more people. Equally as much if you haven't enjoyed it, please feel free to leave me a dislike as well. Really fun build today. Thank you for the continued support on Orchid Bay. The city is gradually moving each week closer to its end. Not sure how much more we can do in this map, but there is still some smaller projects left. We still got to do the space industry, of course. And I don't think we're going to get to use every unit building just because some of them are really big. Maybe we have to redevelop some areas of the downtown to get them in. But as long as you guys continue to support these Cities Skylines 1 content, I will try my damnedest to keep supplying it for you. Really appreciate all the love you drop on Orchid Bay every week, so thank you so much. An enormous shout out as always to the legends of the patrons that support the channel, with a special roll call to Felix Wilkinson. Thank you for your continued support on the channel, guys. You mean the world to me, and I'm glad you deem the content and the channel worthy of support. Otherwise, please do enjoy today's cinematics, but I'll shut up and leave it there. I'd like to thank you all once again so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.